I want to just share my experience over the last few months that helped me get over 40% increase in sales a month over month. All right, so we got 57 orders going out on eBay, totaling a little under $1,200 in sales. And then we also had 16 orders, which is crazy, on Poshmark, totaling a little over $250 in sales. So let's get to pulling and packing to find out what's sold. We had these Polo Ralph Lauren men's jeans, size 38-30. They are the model Hampton, and I just listed these 3 days ago and took a best offer of $34 plus shipping. And then we had this women's blouse. It is an extra large by the brand Sunny Lee. This took about 8 months to sell and took a best offer of $9 plus shipping. We had these men's Ariat Heritage jeans that had a bunch of stains, even a couple holes. Took a best offer of $15 plus shipping on this one. That's the nice part about Ariat. Sometimes if you get them for really cheap, still with stains and holes, they'll still sell. This actually sold in under a couple months. So now I want to get in to the real stuff, you know, why my sales have picked up, and I want to break it all down with you. I don't want to include any fluff. I want to just share my experience over the last few months that helped me get over 40% increase in sales a month over month. There's nothing special that I did. There's no secret that I did. I will say, you know, without dragging this out too long, going back to the basics of looking up every single item that I list in my store has been the foundation to be able to increase my sales. Looking up every single thing before I list it, before I buy it, has been key. That has been the one thing that has helped my sales increase. So the way I source my items has completely changed, and I have a lot of new viewers on the channel. So if you're new here, I used to buy a lot of bulk storage units, having items delivered to me wholesale, and there was just a lot of quality control that came into that process that I did not like. Now that I pick out my items individually, I have a much more control over what goes into my eBay store. So number one would be looking up every item before I even purchase it. So what I do is I go to the thrift store, I pick out all the items that I think that are profitable and that are going to be a good deal and a good sale through rate, and I put those into my cart quickly. Kind of like a bins type strategy where you see a lot of people just put loads of clothes into their cart and then look them up or check for flaws afterwards. So I do that with the thrift store. I just put all the items in my cart very quickly, and then at the end, when I'm done going through all the men's racks and whatnot, I then go to a nice quiet area in the thrift store, and then I look up everything and I double check for holes, I double check for missing buttons, for stains, and you won't believe how much that process has changed my growth in my eBay store and also being able to, you know, enjoy the process much more. I know everyone's different, but that in particular has been key for me to see a 40% increase month over month. Now I want to get into a comment that came in on the channel. This is by Debbie. She just commented, "Love your videos. May I ask, where do you get your poly bags for your clothing? Like the way they store." She says hers are thinner. So there's two options. There is a 12 by 16, which is used to store a lot of my jackets, kind of thicker sweaters, hoodies, bigger type items. Link down below, 30 bucks. You get, I believe, 500 of them. So those last quite a while. 12 by 16. So those are for the bigger type items. And then you could also do these 10 by 13, which are going to be used in about 90% of the items you store. T-shirts, even most of my jeans that are like 38-30 and below could store in these. So those are the ones you want to probably pick up first. Nice and thick, has the seal tab right there, so you could just, or the seal strip, so you could just seal them. And pretty nice, you know. Yeah, they make the crinkly sound, but they help protect your items from the elements and whatnot. So you can check it all out, link down below. We had these Ralph Lauren men's jeans sell for $12 plus $8.95 shipping. We had these Kenneth Cole men's jeans sell for $25 plus shipping. And these Not Your Daughter's jeans, women's size 8, sold for $29.95 plus shipping. They took about 4 months to sell. Now we have this new with tags, Timberland button-up shirt, size small. Picked it up in the storage unit buyout I did almost 2 years ago now. So it sold for $15 plus shipping. So basically, to sum it all up, going back to the basics in my business, like looking up comps, sell-through rate, average sale price, has been the key for transforming my business. At one point a couple months ago, I was down like 28% month over month, and now I could see the sales up dramatically just by changing that simple principle. So I encourage you guys, especially if you're just starting out and you want to go full time, to really be diligent in that process of checking every single item before you put it into your store. And as you do that, you're going to build up that catalog and memory bank of what items sell for, how long they take to sell. And once you do that, you're going to be able to go through these thrift stores and Goodwill outlet or wherever you're at, garage sales, estate sales, and you're going to go much faster because you've put in the work up front of looking up the item and figuring out how long that's going to take to sell. And you're probably wondering, well, what if I don't do that? If you don't do that, you're going to have a huge store filled with a bunch of items that nobody wants to buy. I have about 9,800 items in my store, and I would say more than half of those items were purchased either in wholesale, in storage unit buyouts, or other buyouts where I bought items in bulk. So I didn't take the time to really look up thousands of items at a time, because that, number one, is overwhelming, and the process takes a lot longer. So going back to picking each individual item for my business works best for me and where I live. Maybe wholesale works for you, and that's great. But for me and my business model and being just a solopreneur, is going back and just picking up 20 items every day, listing 20 items every day, and looking up the best possible items that I could put into my store. And if you're just starting out and you want to do this full time, that's the way to go. Because if you do it the other way, especially when you don't have a lot of experience, you might be picking up things that you think in your mind are a good buy, but they're actually not, and they take years to sell for little to no money. So you really want to make it the most important thing that you do as a standard operating procedure is looking up everything before you buy it. And this is a perfect example of that. This is a Timberland pair of kind of longer shorts, wide, Y2K style. They're white. These were listed a long time ago, 2 years ago almost. And I just sold them today on a best offer of $15 plus shipping. So these are the items that I would stay away from. You know, this came from a storage unit bulk buyout where I got a lot of items all at once. So I listed these 2 years ago, and they took 2 years to sell. Would I pick these up again? Absolutely not. You can see the MSRP is $59. Timberland is not the best brand. I'm sure it's better in some categories, but this is just one example. And you could see here, you know, it's not rocket science. It's just picking up better and better items is going to lead to a nice increase in sales. So up 41.2% on the monthly. That's amazing. You know, it is a blessing to really get this thing more figured out. Is it easy? No, absolutely not. It is not easy, no matter what other YouTube reseller channels are telling you. I think it gets easier, but when you're just starting out, it's not easy, especially in clothing. And don't even get me started on women's clothing. There's a lot to learn. There is so much to learn, and that's why it's difficult to start. And sourcing as well is like you need to figure out what routes you're needing to go on, what is the best time of day to hit those thrift stores, when do they have their discount sales. So figuring all this out, especially as a single reseller, is going to feel overwhelming. So this is why you need to watch podcasts, listen to other resellers that are doing it on a higher level so you could take some of those tips and implement them in your business. By no means is this an easy business. I just think it gets easier as you gain more experience and knowledge on how to run your business. Y'all know I love this brand. It is the Lee Extreme Motion. Just listed these about 3 or 4 days ago, and they sold on a best offer of $13 plus $8.95 shipping. But like I've said, is I get these for about $3 from my local thrift. They're the elastic waistband, in Lee. So if you could find like the Extreme Comfort, Extreme Motion, those typically sell fast, but just not for a ton of money. Here are some men's Ralph Lauren jeans, new with tags. Took about 1.5 years to sell, and they sold at a best offer of $16 plus shipping. The size was 31-30. And these Not Your Daughter jeans, capris, size 16, sold on a best offer of $12.95 plus shipping. These were listed about 4 to 6 months ago. So, another thing that has helped me tremendously is keeping a schedule, holding myself accountable to that schedule, because if you don't have a schedule, it's going to be a lot harder to go full-time in your reselling business. Can it be doable without a schedule? Yes, it can be. But if you're looking to get serious and do this full-time, you're going to have to do some sort of schedule. Why do you think when you have a 9-to-5 job, you have a schedule? Because it's going to hold you accountable to show up on time and do the work. So I ask and say to you, do you have a schedule to hold you accountable? And what my schedule looks like is basically my thrift routes. It has it when I do my photos, when I do my listings, when I do the work in the business. So I would just suggest writing out a schedule based on when you do your thrift routes, when you typically do your listings and your photos and your shipping, and then write that in. You could simply just do it on a Google Calendar, and that's going to hold you accountable so you could start compounding that momentum in your business to eventually hire out some of those processes. But that was one of the things that has changed the game for me. When I first started, I did not have a schedule. Now I do, and therefore I could be more efficient and effective in my business. Here's a nice pair of new with tag Abercrombie & Fitch men's jeans, size 31-30. They are skinny, sold for $29.97 plus shipping. So also another aspect is sourcing. Figuring out where you're going to source, how you're going to source is the main thing to your business. Without knowing where you're going to source and how you're going to effectively source, your business is going to look terrible. You're only as good as your source, and that applies to a lot of areas in life, but in your business, if you're not outsourcing more than your competition, or if you're not being diligent about the items you pick up, then someone else is, and they're going to come in and swoop up those items before you even get to the thrift store. So making it important to get there as early as you can, and also figuring out some kind of sourcing route that you could go on every week or every day to be able to be effective to pick up the best items possible. And 2-3 years ago, you could probably get away with being a little bit more relaxed in your sourcing. That's not the case today. There's so many other resellers out there that if you're not either first in line or making it an absolute importance to get out and source, some other people are going to come in and swoop those items up, and then you're going to be left picking over the leftovers, and you may not find anything. All right, getting back into the comments. This is from Leah B. She was watching one of the videos, and she said, I was just listing a small Tommy Bahama as you said it, but it was free. So that's the big debate, right? What if my items are free? I should list them anyways. I would say yes and no. If it was a small Tommy Bahama, I would redonate it, because the sell-through rate with that item is just going to take so long to sell. And everyone has their own different business model. Maybe you have a 50,000 square foot warehouse where you could store items for years. That's fine. I'm talking about for the majority of resellers, we're working out of our spare bedroom, our apartment, our garage, and we're trying to look for items that sell really, really fast. So this was the discussion on the podcast I had with J-Ride over this last weekend. We were just talking a lot about how important sell-through rate is and why that should be what top priority is, what most resellers should be looking for is sell-through rate. You could be an everything seller and just look for high sell-through rate items, and that's going to be foundational for your business. So I used to get items for free, and I used to think the same way, like, hey, I got it for free, I'll just list it. And then I ran out of space, and then I wondered why things weren't selling. It's because the items that were free just had really low sell-through rates. So if you could go back and reanalyze your business and look at what are some of the items that I listed in my store that may have been a good deal but just have bad sell-through rates, maybe that's something you want to change up in your business. And we had these Champion men's joggers sell for, gotta remember what they sold for, actually full price, what? $17.95 plus shipping. They're actually women's extra large. This is actually a men's titanium Columbia vest, size extra large, listed 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, sold for full price of $27.95 plus shipping. These are some pink linen shorts by Express for men, size 31, sold on a best offer of $11 plus shipping. They sold in about a month. This is a men's Seattle Mariners t-shirt, listed about a month ago, and it sold for full price of $17.95 plus shipping. This is a pair of women's Adidas joggers, size medium, also listed about a month ago, sold for $15 plus shipping. This is a vintage Levi's vest, size extra large, sold for $17.56 plus shipping. This like goes under your blazer, nothing too special about it. Sold in about a couple months. I also do believe in reselling, a lot of people are working below their potential. They don't think they could go full-time because of X, Y, and Z. I don't think, that's not my mindset. My belief is that you can do it. It just takes some principles that you need to apply to help you maximize your potential. When I first started, I did not think I could do it, but it was all about a mindset shift. As soon as I saw other people selling on a big level, AKA tech and sports, daily refinement, you know, all the people that are actually doing it as a business, not just for clicks on YouTube, then you can start to get into that mindset and figure out, well, if they could do it, I could do it. What's the difference? You know, and then you start to give all the excuses of, well, they have better ways to source, they just have more experience. While that might be true, maybe those are the things that you just need to work on when you're just starting out. See, when you start to see people do it on a big level and also full time, you could start to wonder and go, well, what makes them different than me? Really, not a lot. It's just your mindset needs to shift. And that's what's happened over the last few years with me, is that, hey, if people can make a full-time living doing this, especially reselling clothing, I just need to figure out what they're doing right and implement some of those things into my business. So that's why this channel is just really all about transparency, showing my journey. I want to share all the mistakes because I want people to avoid the mistakes that I made early on in my reselling journey. So, you know, going on YouTube and watching, you know, maybe some other resellers that might be getting a lot of views and a lot of subscribers, you got to wonder, are they doing reselling full-time or are they doing YouTube full-time? You really want to look at the people that are actually making a full-time income, you know, $70,000 to $100,000 net and above, which is kind of what I would consider full-time, and mimic and learn from those people because you can do it. You know, you just really haven't maximized your potential. There is so much potential in you to be able to run your own business, to be able to grow and scale this business, and also run other businesses. So don't think that you can't do it because you don't have sourcing down or you don't have the experience. You just really need to put in the work and listen to the other people that are doing it on a higher level. We had this Nautica men's button-up. I think it's new with tags somewhere in here. Size small, took 1.5 years to sell, and it sold for $19 plus shipping. All right, still selling some jackets, which is nice. I sold this military jacket here, picked it up at an estate sale. The pattern on this, what I learned, is it's called frog skin. Interesting. So it's a type of camo pattern. That's a good keyword. Picked it up. When did I pick that up? About a month ago. Pretty nice. It's fleece lined. Yeah, it's got some wear, but I took a best offer of $15 plus $12.95 shipping. This is a Jack's men's flannel shirt, size medium, sold on a best offer of $16 plus shipping. Banana Republic linen pants for women, size 8, sold on a best offer of $18 plus shipping, and it sold in about 3 weeks. Not bad. This is just a plain women's Wrangler shirt, size medium, listed about two to 3 months ago. Sold actually for full price of $17.95 plus shipping. Here are some Ann Taylor wool blend pants, size 10 petite, listed about a month ago, and they sold on a best offer of $10 plus shipping. Love finding this brand when I see it. It is Adriana Goldsmeed. This is a men's pair of pants, green label. Pretty good size as well. These were listed 2 days ago, and they sold on a best offer of $27 plus shipping. Here is a merino wool Talbot's cardigan, size small, sold for $15 plus shipping, and this was also listed, I would say, about 3 months ago. Not bad. Had a random item sell. This is the Art of Shaving pre-shave oil. Storage unit purchase here. Had a couple of these, and they sell pretty fast. If you ever do find this brand, it's a good one. This sold for $30 plus shipping. Had these American Eagle women's jeans, size 10, sold on a best offer of $15 plus shipping. Had this women's silk dress by JINC, blue, size medium, sold for $17 plus shipping. Took about a month, probably 2 months to sell. This was actually purchased pretty quickly. It was returned, and then I relisted it, and it sold right away. So I know you could do this business. It's not easy. It's gonna take work, grit, determination, but I know you can do it. If you wanna do part-time, you could do it. If you wanna go full-time, I know you could do it. You just gotta be disciplined and put the right things in place. I hope by sharing my experiences over the last couple months in growing my sales can be helpful to you. If you guys want, I do offer a one-on-one free consultation. Link down below. You could schedule via Calendly, and we could see if you're a good fit for the program. I also do have other resources down below, like this eBay item specifics guide to help you learn a lot of the item specifics when it comes to clothing on eBay. And then you can check out other free resources like a Bolo brand list down below to help you grow your business. I hope that this was helpful for you. Leave a comment down below. What is your input? What is your outlook on your business, and what I could do to help? Just ask questions, and I'm happy to help you guys. I hope you all have a blessed day. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.